All right, hello everybody. My name is Avery, and today I'm gonna be talking about the life of Fredrick Douglass. Fredrick Douglass was born in Tuckahoe, Maryland, in 1818. Fredrick Douglass was raised by his nana. He was born a slave. And so here's a couple of things about Fredrick Douglass. Fredrick Douglass was born in Tuckahoe, Maryland, in 1818. Here's a couple of things that he did. What he did is he believed all people that should be free. He spent most of his time to gain equal rights for all blacks. He published three different newspapers, and he gave speeches to large crowds. He was raised by his nana because his mom was forced to not care for Fredrick Douglass. So his nana had to raise him up, and then when he turned 7, he had to do odd jobs around. He had to do odd jobs for his owners. He had to sleep on dirt floors. He had to sleep on a dirt floor, and for dinner he only got corn cob mush. When he turned 8, he was given to a family in I forgot what it was called, but he was born the Odd Family, and so Mrs. Auld taught Fredrick Douglass how to read. And so when Mr. Auld found out, he stopped her from teaching him how to read the Bible. And so it was actually true. Black people couldn't actually learn. Some states outlawed teaching blacks how to read and how to write. So when he read on his own self, and he taught his own self how to read. He asked some boys in the neighborhood to teach him how to write. And so that's when he taught his own self how to read. He read old newspapers and books. When he was 15, he was given away from the Odd Family, and so he worked for several of owners. He was often beaten and given little food. He was full of suffering. So Anna, so when he met Anna, she sued him a sailor suit because he was on a sailor suit because he was on a boat, and I don't know where it says he was going to, but she sued him a sailor suit, and so he planned to escape. He put that sailor suit on so nobody would recognize he was a slave. And some of his friends helped him who were against slavery. And so he escaped by a boat and by a plane. And by a train to New York City. And then soon after arriving there, he married Anna. So there were in the South, they were in the South where slaves were. In the North, there wasn't no slaves because they were against slavery. So he escaped to the North, and so he still didn't feel safe because they were slave catchers in the South.
That's right.
Oh yeah, boy.
And so he wrote books. He wrote books about his life. He told reports. He went to a park, and so he saw some of his friends, and so that were free and that were against slavery, and so they were asking him what was it like to be in slavery, and so he told them how it was to be tired, how it was to be tired of sleep, of doing a whole bunch of work, of getting beaten, or of having to sleep on dirt floors, of having to get little food, and so when he got older, he became famous. He became famous. And so he was, and so he told reports about his life, and so people, so when he gave his speeches when he got older, some report his book made some of the reports throw eggs at him, like some of the reporters in the South throw eggs at him because they were it made them angrier, and so there was a war going on, and it's called the Civil War. And so
How did Fredrick Douglass get his freedom?
He got his freedom. He got his freedom from got his freedom from telling the England people, and so he.
His friends in England, they got some money.
And so
They got money, and they're well with the money.
They spent it on a book, they spent it on a book.
No, they paid for his freedom. Remember? Okay, so let me step up and help him out because his brother.
Okay.
Okay, so from that point, let me adjust the camera so they can see Daddy's face. So what ended up happening is that Fredrick Douglass wrote a book, and in the book, Fredrick Douglass told about he named his master that he ran from, and he told was giving out all kinds of information. So his friends in the North said, "Hey man, this guy can send the slave catchers to come and get you because he know who you are now. You know, wrote this book exposing who he is, what he did, the treatment that he did." So what they ended up doing was they sent him away to England. He was in England for a little bit under 2 years, and his friends in England came up with enough money, about $700 and something, and they bought his freedom from his slave owner in the South in America, and then Frederick Douglass came back to America. So everybody give Avery a big round of applause.
That was awesome.
He did an awesome job.
I have a little bit more of information.
Okay, well, all right.
When they started having sons, 2 of their sons were in the North Army, and so
No, your brother's gonna cover that.
Oh, yeah.
Let Isaiah cover that part. Hold on.
Maybe Isaiah still has to read a little, huh?
So Isaiah, where are you, son?
He's